Hi guys, we're here at Leeds Castle, which is outside of Dover, which is where our ship is docked right now. And the place is very nice. The greens are very lush, lots of animals and birds here. The castle of Leeds is right behind me. It has lots of history. Many kings have resided here and queens as well, including King Henry VIII. Anyway, it's been quite the experience, and we'll show you lots of video from this location. We're here at Leeds Castle. Walking up to it, you can take a train from the ticket booth area, or you can walk the grounds, which are beautiful. So we are walking the grounds. It's overcast as usual here in England, but not bad. As long as the breeze isn't going on, it's quite tolerable. The temperature is pretty much perfect for walking. Probably in the high 50s or low 60s. Every so often you have these little plates that are in the ground on the walkway that give you information. The grounds feature 3 different gardens. One is the Culpeper Garden, which the family owned in the 17th century. It has the Lady Bailey Mediterranean Garden, and it has Princess Alexandra Gardens, where various flowers like azaleas, rhododendrons, daffodils, narcissi, and anemones are prevalent. There is so much to see and do here. There's also a maze near the castle that you can walk through, and at the center, when you get there, is a grotto that has hand-carved figurines there as well. So we didn't get to see those because didn't have the time to do everything here. There's also, you can stay here, and there's a bed and breakfast, as well as the stable courtyard, which is a 4-star place, and then a 5-star place called the 16th century Maiden Tower. You can stay there, and then between April and September, when it's warmer, you can stay at Knight's Glamping, which is dome camping area where they have these carved tents that you can sleep in, and they have barbecue, fire pits, cotton bedding. It sounds really nice. It's in the vineyard. So there's lots of places you can stay here. There's also a restaurant that you can eat lunch or dinner there on grounds. And then there's several events throughout the year. For instance, this year the Field of Cloth of Gold is going to be April through December. And then there's Easter, April 10th through the 13th. There's Motors by the Moat, it's May 9th through 10th, 2020. The jousting tournament, Golden Joust, May 23rd through 25th. And so there's several other things. There's open air cinema, Festival of Flowers, September 12th through the 16th. Amazing. They always also have they have a falconry center where there's many species of birds, including owls and falcons, of course. Yeah, you can hold weddings here for a price, and there's Christmas Market Festival during Christmas time. So there's a whole lot of things you can do here. restaurant, toilets, maze and play areas. It's about 10:30 in the morning. That's when they open up. Here's the moat. I don't see any dragons though. That's the entrance. Where are the dragons?
No dragons.
He says there's no dragons in the moat. There's a golf course out there. We're going into the castle right now.
There's a picture of a circle around the sand.
Barrels, cellar. Oh, look at that. Wonder how old those guys are. There certainly is a lot of history in this castle, and it began in the year 857 when the Saxon chief called Leeds built wooden structures on two islands on the River Len. Then in the year 1119, the first stone castle was built by Robert de Crevaseur. Then in the year 1139, the first siege occurred when King Stephen had to defend his throne against Empress Matilda, daughter of King Henry I. In 1265, then King Henry III forced the Crevaseur family to yield to Roger de Leyburn. Then in the year 1278, Queen Eleanor of Castile bought it and began the long history of royal ownership. Between 1294 to 1318, King Edward owned it, and he married French Princess Margaret, who was the sister of King Philip IV, to improve relationship with France. Then in 1318, King Edward granted the castle to Bartholomew de Baltimore. Then in 1321, the second siege occurred when Queen Isabella is refused entry and she was fired upon by Bartholomew's archers. In 1382, King Richard II gave the castle to Queen Anne of Bohemia. While visiting the castle, there's an area where it has this timeline of all the people who lived and owned the castle, and it goes into further detail than I can here. So if you're at the castle, you can certainly easily read all this at your leisure while visiting there. By the way, the information I am giving you today is coming from the website leeds-castle.com, so it should be pretty accurate of the history. This is listed as the Queen's Room, so as you can see, it is quite the nice room, very opulent, great furniture. Here in the Queen's Gallery are busts of some of the famous people. And then there's also several portraits of the royalty coming up here that are on the walls. King Richard II. After giving you a break, I'm going to continue with the history. In 1403, King Henry IV granted the castle to Queen Joan of Navarone, who then gave it to Thomas Arundel, who was at that time the Archbishop of Canterbury. In 1416, King Henry V entertained Holy Roman Emperor there, and then in 1422, the castle is granted to Queen Catherine de Valois. In 1517, King Henry VIII, who is very famous, made improvements and transformed it to a royal palace, all for Queen Catherine of Aragon. In 1520, King Henry VIII left the castle to be with King Francis of France at the Field of the Cloth of Gold to better improve relations between the two countries. In 1553, the castle was granted to Anthony St. Leger to recognize his conciliatory work in Ireland for King Henry VIII. In 1618, Wharton St. Leger sold the place to Richard Smythe to fund his voyage with Sir Walter Raleigh to Guyana in the New World. In 1632, Smythe builds a large Jacobean house on the large island, which is where today's castle is. In 1665, the Culpeper family leased the Glorietta to the government to house prisoners from the Anglo-Dutch War. Then in 1690, Catherine Culpeper married Thomas V, Lord of Fairfax. Then in 1719, Thomas VI, Lord Fairfax, inherited the castle, but he didn't live there. He moved to Virginia and left it to his brother Robert. In 1749, it was altered drastically by Robert Fairfax to look like Strawberry Hill in Turkenham. In 1821, Fiennes Wincham Martin inherits and demolishes the Jacobson house and builds a new castle, medieval style. Moving now to more modern times, in 1924, Wincham Martin family was forced to sell the place to pay for crippling death duties. And then in 1926, the area was bought by the Honorable Mrs. Wilson Filmer, later known as Lady Bailey, who completely restored the fabric and the structure of the place. In 1939, during World War II, the area was used as a secret project to develop weapons and safety systems. It also was used as a hospital, according to different websites. During this time, important meetings were held between Field Marshal Montgomery and Sir Baron Ramsay. Skipping forward to 1974, Lady Bailey died and bequeathed the castle and 500 acres of the park to the nation of England under trusteeship of the Leeds Castle Foundation. In 1978, initial talks were held, which led to the Camp David Agreement between Egypt, Israel, and the United States on these premises. Many prestigious and international meetings, including the G8 summit in 2004, were also held here. Leeds Castle is very large along with the surrounding grounds, and we did not have anywhere near the time we needed to explore the whole thing, having to get back to the cruise ship. But it is fascinating to know all the history as well as the events that take place all the time in this place, and you can actually stay here. So it was a great experience. We hope you liked it, and please click like if you liked it, and subscribe to our channel and follow us. A new video every Sunday. Thank you for watching.